Okay, three, two, one, go. Alright, hey guys, so this is a TAS of version 0.9. So this version I'm playing on right now is a leaked version that came out earlier this year, about the same time that there's like a beta OOT maps leak also around the same time earlier this year. And so what this version is, this is a version that the build date is dated 3 days before the final build date of version 1.0. So this is basically most likely the last version before the version that became the release version of 1.0. Because of the number of changes in this, we think it's probably closer to like a month or a few weeks at least before version 1.0. Not really 3 days, but at least the build date is 3 days. So there's actually a lot of interesting differences in this version. It's still like mostly the same game, but there's quite a few extra bugs introduced, or I guess bugs that were fixed in version 1.0. Some interesting mechanics changes, and there are actually a few like basic gameplay things that were pretty significantly changed that I'll try to touch on as we go through this. So two of the so actually, first I should explain the category. So the category that this is GSR, or Ganondorf Source Requirement. Basically just beat Ganondorf in Ganon without using item manipulation glitches, wrong warp, or SRM. It's basically like the category, it's basically like the no super big glitches category. So the way it normally goes is you generally just beat Shadow Temple, Spirit Temple, get the bow from Forest Temple, and then with those things you can get light arrows, and you use light arrows to defeat Ganon, or Ganondorf, and then Ganon. So the reason I'm specifically doing this version 0.9 run for GSR is because this category is actually pretty interestingly changed with this version 0.9. There's two significant things in particular that this version can do. One is that it can skip magic. So this version actually has a glitch to get magic without actually getting magic from a fairy fountain. So in this version, if you drink green potion, you actually get magic even if you don't have a magic bar. And using that, you can not only skip magic, but also skip Zelda's Lullaby, because that's the only thing that Zelda's Lullaby is gotten for in GSR typically, is to get magic. Also, another thing you can do is skip bomb shoes. So normally to get bombs from Dodongo's Cavern, which is really important for this category and most speedruns, to get bombs from DC, you need either strength or some explosive, usually bomb shoes. But in this version, there's actually a glitch you can do to have your sword do bomb damage, which can actually be used in Dodongo's Cavern to break a wall that you need bombs for. There's more changes than that. There are more smaller changes throughout the run that I'll go over, but those are the significant changes. So, to start off the run is just going to be not even getting Sword and Shield, it's just going to be buying a Deku Stick. So, normal GSR runs, there's actually two different routes you can run, depending on if you're running on 1.0 or VC. The 1.0 route will also skip Sword and Shield here, like I'm doing, and buy sticks. Although it actually has to buy 2 sticks and not just 1. Here I can actually just buy 1. And then the Wii VC route actually ends up getting Sword and Shield and doing normal escape from the front and getting Ocarina. So in this version, I only need 1 stick, and I can skip Ocarina. So because I don't need Zelda's Lullaby to get magic, Ocarina is really useless in this run. I do need to play 1 song in the run, but I can do Ocarina items for that. So I can go straight to Lost Woods, and I can use the stick to clip into the stone here and get to the exit to Zora's River early. Had a 0.9 leak. So apparently someone just found some old N64 dev carts. One of them had, I guess, OOT 0.9, and another one of them also had F-Zero, which part of it had mainly F-Zero, but then part of the memory was also leftover of some like beta OOT stuff, and so that's how those came out. Yeah, this is just swimming down Zora's River. These rupees are also kind of important. The magic I need to buy green potion for the magic thing I mentioned earlier. And so something I forgot to mention about the magic thing is if you use green potion to get magic, you actually lose the magic if you die or save and reset. Because of that, there's actually quite a few deaths and save and resets in this run, so the magic actually has to be close to the end of the game. I actually end up buying green potion from Ganon's castle, from one of the scrubs in Ganon's castle, which is really interesting. And it costs 40 rupees, so I actually do need to collect 40 rupees on the way there. And I need to collect Cuccos, of course. So, going back to the differences between the regular GSR routes of 1.0 and VC. So the N64 route actually... Wait, is it the N64 route that skips bottle or VC? No, VC skips bottle. Yeah, the VC route doesn't get the bottle at all. And the N64 route does get the bottle. So the bottle in normal GSR has two uses. One is a hookshot jump in... Dodongo's Cavern to get bombs early. Another is a hookshot jump in Forest Temple to get bow early. But VC ends up not doing either of those in favor of just skipping the bottle completely because the Cuccos take a long time. For N64, it has the added advantage of also being able to use Ocarina items with the bottle. So they also skip Ocarina in addition to being able to do those two hookshot jumps. So in this route, we go with having to get the bottle. What's actually really interesting about this version 0.9 run is that it actually, there's a lot of differences in the 1.0 and VC routes, and this version kind of gets to do the best of both of them, minus the collecting Cuccos. VC does get the benefit of skipping collecting Cuccos, but it gets basically all the other benefits of both other routes. Like, in addition to the hookshot jumps I mentioned, 1.0 can do the quick bongo kill, where you drop a bomb down the hole to beat bongo quickly, and that can't be done on VC. And because that also requires bombs, the N64 route delays Shadow Temple until after bombs, which also means a faster boss key skip for Shadow Temple. And so this run that I'm doing will do quick bongo kill, faster bongo, faster boss key skip, the hookshot jumps and stuff. And yeah, so I'm also skipping Bomb of the Well entirely, so both routes, both the N64 and VC runs of GSR typically get bomb chews right away from Bomb of the Well. This run can completely skip that. In fact, bottle and sticks are the only thing that this run does as child, going straight to adult now. I don't want to give away the final time of this run, but I will say the record for GSR on VC is 112. And this should be faster. It's sub 112. So yeah, this run just goes straight to Temple of Time after getting Bottle. No sword, but you can do swordless door time skip by targeting the wall right as you clip out, and that shifts your momentum forwards, so you can like kind of clip in and out of bounds rapidly near the door and then clip fully in bounds when you're past it. And then straight to Master Sword. Sub 10-minute Master Sword. Yeah, being able to skip Zelda is a really big benefit, because Zelda is like, going to Zelda is such a boring part of the run, and it's really early on too, because like, I think typical GSR runs get to Master Sword at like 16, 17 minutes or something. So like from here, it's basically like, you know, you go to Hyrule Castle, get the egg, wait until morning, wake up town, go through guards, wait through the cutscene, do a cutscene skip, and then finally go to Master Sword, and all that is just like not that interesting. So this category, being able to skip all that, is super cool. but Master Sword cutscene is pretty much the same. So this guy just talks a bunch, same cutscene as before. Gotta sit through this normally. Is it hard to make a TAS in GZ than a LOTAD? Okay, so I guess, well, first I should talk about TAS and LOTAD in this run and stuff. So this is like sort of a LOTAD, sort of a TAS. Like, I still mostly played this in real time, like doing mostly human strats, but there were a lot more places in this run compared to other LOTADs I've done where I did like more task specific things, which is generally why I'm calling this a TAS instead of a LOTAD. It's still like, it's, I don't know, it's like half LOTAD, half TAS. But I wanted to just call it a TAS because this is, it does a lot more not superhuman stuff. But yeah, in regards to the question, is it harder to make like a full TAS or a LOTAD? LOTAD is definitely way easier to make. When you're making a true TAS and you're trying to save every single frame, one thing that's super important for that is precise control stick directions. And when you're making a TAS, you have like an input, you have like an input plugin that you just click buttons and click the control stick to drag it around. So you can get very precise control stick inputs and button inputs like that, which you can't really do on GZ because like when I'm doing control stick inputs for this, I'm using the actual control stick, which can be imprecise sometimes. So if you're making a true TAS, it's definitely better to do it on an emulator. But when it comes to making a LOTAD or just like general, not super optimized thing, I think it's great on GZ because it's just super easy to make. GZ's built-in macro and save state functions are just super simple to use. That's kind of why I've been making a lot recently, is I just really enjoy making these. Like, before this I made the max percent child one, and then I made 2 different hundo ones. And yeah, I just enjoy making these a lot because they're made to be pretty simple with the GZ tools. They're not, again, they're not the best for like true task tools, but for general like good enough gameplay, it's super great. Also, one more thing I should mention about this run. So this being version 0.9, technically it should be like an N64 run because like I am playing on VC, as you can see right now. You know, if 1.0 is N64 only, 0.9 should kind of be N64 only too. I'm cheating, I'm using VC because I don't want to use N64 right now. So really, this run should be a little bit longer than it really is because of lag and loading. But in terms of like actual gameplay, this is exactly like this run exactly. It would be the exact same run on N64, just slightly longer with lag and loading. And yeah, Glank, thanks. Glank actually made the Japanese version of this for me. So the original leak for this was actually English only. Glank actually made a Japanese version for me, so I could do this. Why Japanese? Because the text is faster. So this is another point where the routes sort of diverge with the original 1.0 and VC routes. I think the 1.0 route, or no, the VC route. I keep mixing up the routes. One of the routes doesn't go get hookshot first. It goes to get bombs first. I think it's the N64 route. Yeah, N64 route. Wait, no. I'm confusing myself. One of the routes doesn't get hookshot first. One of them gets bombs first. But, yeah, the VC route. Old N64 route. Wait, do they both get hookshot first now? I don't know. I'm confusing so many routes. I'm trying to explain 3 different version routes, and then I'm probably also getting confused with old routes too. Oh, now they both do shadow first. Okay. Alright, never mind. Both routes do shadow first now. Or hookshot first. But yeah, so just getting... I got the shield in the grave, getting hookshot now. And then after this is where the run starts to get a bit different. $46, oh my god. I made this. This was all made by me. So normally after getting hookshot, you would just go straight to Shadow Temple since it's right there. But as I mentioned earlier, the benefit to doing Shadow Temple later after getting bombs is the faster boss key skip and faster bongo fight. Since I can take advantage of both of them, I'm not going to do Shadow right now. I'm going to do it a bit later. And I'm going to grab a RNG fairy from the grass. That's why I took damage. I got to low health so that a fairy could actually spawn. And now I'm going to go head to Dodongo's Cavern. So, normally in Dodongo's Cavern, there's a wall right in the front that blocks you from progressing, and you need to either have strength or some explosive to blow up that wall. Usually, you just get bomb shoes to do it. In this run, I have no bomb shoes and no strength. But, like I mentioned earlier, there's a glitch to use your sword to act like a bomb, or have bomb damage. So in regular OOT, there's a glitch called Quick Put Away, where if you put away a Deku Stick right as you take damage, and then you break the Deku Stick in midair, it gives you a glitched damage value that does a bunch of different damage properties, like Deku Seeds and Hookshot and stuff. Version 0.9 has a different version that works by swinging your sword and putting away your sword at the same time. If you look closely right there, it looked like Link was swinging his sword without his sword out. That also does glitch damage, but it's different glitch damage than in regular OOT, and that glitch damage has one of the properties being bomb damage. So you can use your fake sword to just blow up walls. Then I can do the hookshot jump here, hookshot the ladder at the same time that I die, get revived by the fairy, jump up to the bridge here, and now I can go get bombs really quickly. Yeah, that's the first really significant change in version 0.9 that affects this run, is that glitch sword damage that lets you do bomb damage with your sword. So all I have to do is get bombs, just gonna leave straight away. So in regular GSR, this would be where you would now go get magic. I don't need to get magic, so I can go straight to the next thing I need to do in the overworld, which is get Minuet. So I'm just going to go straight into Goron City, and this is going to be the path to Minuet. Also, during this point. For the minuet cutscene skip, I'm gonna be doing a death cutscene skip, so I need to take damage. So I actually had to be pretty careful in how I routed my damage here. So I took an intentional fall in Dodongo's Cavern, an intentional fall there, 2 hits from the bomb there. Also this Hess here, that was only recently found. It was only recently found that you could actually clip through Mida with a Hess, a very precise Hess. And then also I had some fun and did nosy targeting Hess there. We like to call that nervous Hessing because it just looks kind of funny. That was done with frame advance, obviously, but it just looks really silly. Then you can ground jump to skip all the Sacred Forest Meadow, take an extra hit from the bomb there. Because I don't have Ocarina, I can't just damage buffer off of a bomb. So I can't, usually whenever you need to die, it's just like, the default option is just damage buffer with Ocarina, but actually I have to think carefully about my health in this, about health management. And then do the cutscene skip, get the song, don't have to watch the cutscene, save and don't continue, go back to Temple of Time. And now I'm going to head back to Shadow Temple. So again, I couldn't do Shadow Temple earlier because I didn't have any explosives. You need at least some explosive to do the boss skip at all. But having bombs specifically is going to be a lot faster than even if I had shoes. Yeah, this is a pre-release version. It's relatively accessible, as in like you can probably Google it and find it. Okay, so this part I actually had to do some pretty serious RNG manipulation. If you look here, I got I think 13 rupees and 2 bomb drops. That actually took a long time to manipulate. I need a bunch of rupees because I need 40 rupees by the end to buy magic, and I need 2 bomb drops. For the record, each bomb drop is a 1 in 16 chance, each blue rupee is a 1 in 16 chance. There are like 10 or 11 pieces of grass that I could get them from, so it's not as bad as if there was like 4 pieces of grass, but it was pretty hard RNG manip. And then just the regular super slide teleport, using a bomb to get to Shadow Temple early. Oh, one really minor change in 0.9 that I should point out is when you that shield there was just RNG minute, by the way, just so I can get a better dead hand spawn. So one super minor change is that when you try to take out your sword and then shield immediately, it's actually faster in this version. In regular OOT, there's actually like a few frames where after you pull your sword, you can't shield. So like if you press sword and then shield, it'll play like 3 or 4 frames of the sword animation and then you'll shield. In this, it happens instantly, so you can actually take out your sword and then shield quicker in this version. Not only that, but you also can take out first-person items and cancel it with a shield without targeting, which you can't do in vanilla. It's not used in this run, but just something to note. And then here is the boss key skip where I Hess and clip out of bounds by using the 2 bombs near the wall to do a bomb push clip combined with the Hess to clip out of bounds into the boss loading zone. Then I can do the normally 1.0 or 1.1 bongo strat, but also exists in this version, where you drop a bomb down the hole and it hits Bongo before he's fully loaded, so you can kill him super quickly and skip the cutscene when you fall into the fight. Also, another minor change, well, it's sort of like a minor change that ends up being a bit more significant later on, is a change to loading zones. So in regular OOT, if you're above a loading zone and moving downwards, then you will hit the loading zone no matter how high up you are. Like you can be super high above a loading zone, but if you're moving downwards, then you'll hit the loading zone. In this version, you actually won't hit the loading zone until you're basically right above it. So if you pay super close attention, the boss key skip I did actually took slightly longer than it would in vanilla, because I actually had to fall longer to actually hit the loading zone. Same with falling into Dampe's grave, that actually took a little bit longer because it takes longer. You have to actually basically touch the loading zone for it to activate in this. That seemed like a super minor thing. It turns out it actually has a significant change later on. The regular trial skip method you do in Ganon's castle, where you hover against one of the side walls of Ganon's tower, that still exists, or like the loading zone on the side tower still exists, but because of the stricter conditions for loading zones activating, you can't actually just hover into the loading zone. Like, you can't get high enough for you to actually touch the loading zone before the barrier kicks you out. So this version actually has to do a completely different trial skip because of that, which I'll show later. And then yeah, this version, or this category, doesn't allow the cutscene skips from the dungeons, so I do have to watch this cutscene normally. So normally after Shadow, regular GSR runs would save warp here when going to Spirit Temple. It turns out it's just barely faster to just Hess out of Graveyard and then Hess out to Hyrule Field instead of save warp. I think it's like 4 seconds faster or something, but also uses more bombs and is riskier. So that's why regular runs don't do it, but for this purpose, I end up doing this instead of save warping. And so now I'm gonna go all the way to Spirit Temple, through Gerudo Valley and stuff. Yeah, just regular Hess to Gerudo Valley. Right here, I do a bit of a trickier Hess than normal, since I'm doing a, TAS, I can just Hess up the little plank there. Make it a little bit both faster and cooler. So coming up here, I'm gonna do ISGF a bomb. If you pay close attention, you'll be able to notice the quick draw for sword I mentioned earlier. Like if you notice there, I was able to take out sword and then shield quicker than usual. Over here, I super slide over to the gate, and then I'm gonna clip through the gate using a ground clip. This is typical normal strats, not 0.9 exclusive or anything. You just do a short hover, and then the bomb hits you as you're moving downwards, which gives you enough horizontal and downward speed to clip through the gate, and then Hess across the wasteland. The wasteland actually does have one minor difference. You actually get the void out sound earlier than normal if you void out in the wasteland. Obviously, I'm not going to show it off here, but there's a slight difference with the sound you hear when voiding out in the wasteland in this version. So, Spirit Temple is interesting. So I don't have bomb shoes, and normally you'd use bomb shoes and bombs to do Spirit Hover. Because I don't have bomb shoes and I'm limited on bombs, I have to do the alternative, which is Spirit Jump. So you can actually do a hookshot jump up to the rock with the heart piece in front of Spirit Temple, and then super slide from there. Before I do that, well actually in order to do that at all, I need a cutscene item, which normally is the Ocarina, but in this case I have to use bugs. And I need to go up to this gold Skulltula up here, And so this Gold Skulltula, here's another change in version 0.9, is Gold Skulltulas actually have a cutscene when you kill them. It's really good that that was taken out of the final version because it's super annoying. So right there, I went into the cutscene, I went into the token and tried to grab the token, but then pressed the bottle button to interrupt it. That makes it so that next time it's on camera, like when I just turn the camera there, it gives me the token instantly. I interrupt hookshotting the post with getting the token, which causes me to do a big hookshot jump up to the rock, get on the rock, super slide, plus hover boots to land on this seam up here, climb up, hookshot the silver gauntlets chest, super slide or Hess over to the next hand. And here I can get Mirror Shield. Oh, and also, you notice I had to manipulate a 5 rupee drop from the rock. That's the last place in the run I could get rupees from. So I actually had to get a 5 rupee drop from that rock too. Just to point that out. So Spirit Temple is really cool. I actually found a brand new strat while making this, and because of finding that strat, I actually had to redo like the last 15 minutes or something. Maybe it was like 10 minutes. No, I think like 10 minutes, yeah. But yeah, this strat coming up is brand new that I just found a few days ago. So first I need to farm bombs from these guys. So normally you'd go down to the main room of the Spirit Temple, which requires a key that I'd get in that room over there that had the bars on it. I'm gonna skip that key, and I'm gonna go in this room. Normally you'd also have to kill all the enemies in this room. I'm not gonna do that either. I'm gonna do a short hover here into a ground clip. This ground clip is gonna put me on a tiny piece of out of bounds collision in this room. I'm gonna turn on collision view here. Put on hover boots. I can do a side hop, jump slash to skip that little stairs room. This is the main room of Spirit Temple, completely unloaded. In an actual run, you would see nothing here, but I have collision view on so you can see. So now you have to do this climb up Spirit Temple completely blind. And then you can do this clip out of bounds here with 2 backflips with hover boots. You can clip out of bounds like on the side of the head, and then you can get into the loading zone from inside the head, or to the side of the head, I guess. Is that human viable? It's like, so the thing about that being human viable is the side hop jump slash with the hover boots to skip the stairs room. That's probably the hardest part of the whole trick, not even navigating that room blind. If that could be made decently consistent, I think it could be humanly viable. But the real issue of making it humanly viable is that the whole strat saves about 15 seconds, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider how difficult it probably would be, and like how much time you'd probably have to take out to make strats more consistent, I don't think the strat itself is too difficult to do. I think doing the strat fast enough to save time might be an issue. So, could potentially be done in future runs, maybe. But I am unsure if the time save is worth the difficulty, I guess. So regular cutscene skip here. Get the Iron Knuckle down to super low health, clip out of bounds with hookshot, have the bomb kill the Iron Knuckle, and I skip the cutscene. Yeah, so the actual reason you don't see collision view during pauses is because when you pause the game, what you're actually seeing is a screenshot that the game took right before you paused, and overlaying that screenshot like behind the pause menu. So you're not really seeing what's in game there, and that's why you don't see the collision view. So like the screenshot essentially that it takes doesn't include collision view. Oh yeah, so the mirror shield design, I should mention that. So the mirror shield design fix, or whatever you want to call it, on the VC version is actually done with the VC emulator, not the ROM. So that's why it looks like it's the 1.2 version of mirror shield, even though Even though this should be like the version with the crescent moon, whatever. So yeah, it's the VC emulator that does it for the VC version. So for Twinrova, I'm doing, you'll see I'll do some like weird movements here. This is RNG manipulation. Oh yeah, GameCube / VC, not 1.2, my bad. Yeah, so like all the targeting and weird movements here is to manipulate Twinrova to be, to shoot really quickly. So this should actually be a super quick Twinrova fight. This is the Twinrova fight every OOT runner wishes they could get. I also get the double in Twinrova, or the triple in Twinrova Phase 2. You can also get a double here by hookshotting like right before Twinrova moves to the next platform. And then regular one cycle. Unfortunately, there's no TAS skip for this cutscene. So I try to be cool and side hop here to get here faster, and it doesn't even matter because I have to wait for the blue orb to load. So those side hops save no time. And then so this activates the Light Arrow cutscene. Having both Shadow and Sphere Medallion activates Light Arrow cutscene. But in order to use Light Arrows, I still need the bow, so I need to go warp to Forest Temple. So here's another minor difference, or you won't see the difference, but I'll explain it. So I do Ocarina items there with a backflip. In regular OOT, a faster way to do Ocarina items there would be ESS OI, where you just do ESS, press the bottle button, and then another item. And if I did that, it would actually turn it into a bottle. But doing ESS OI in this version actually just causes a bottle dupe. Also, another small difference, you can hear the warp sound, the warp song sound actually like cuts out early. I think that's true for all the warp songs in this version. The warp song sound just doesn't fully play properly. And also, even doing Ocarina items with a regular backflip, if you actually are really late with your Ocarina items, it'll also cause a bottle dupe. Even with Sword, it actually means that this version has basically the easiest way to get bottle on B, because just doing a late Ocarina items will cause you to get bottle on B in this. Although this is a no RBA run, so I can't make use of that. So here, this is the room with the bow fight, although in the lower part of the room. The upper part of this room is where you actually fight the Stalfos for the bow. In order to actually start the fight, you need to enter this room above a certain height. And this next glitch coming up is going to be to reposition your entrance point to be at the top of the room. So first I need to do entrance point glitch here. This is all same as in vanilla OOT. So I do entrance point glitch here with 3 bombs for a bomb push. And this is going to make me open the door inside the wall here, and the door isn't going to close. And I'm going to do another hookshot jump here. I hookshot the chest at the same time I die. This lets me jump up and land up here. The door still hasn't closed. It's going to close right as I move here. This is going to reset my entrance point, so that my entrance point is now at the beginning, or now at the top of this room. I can Hess clip to clip out of bounds. Then when I void out, I'll be respawned at the top of the room with the Stalfos fight active, so I can get the bow. So I want to death warp out of here, so I do a cool strat here where I throw a bomb at the Stalfos, and this actually does enough damage so that I'll still kill him in 2 crouch stab hits, and then kill the Stalfos. So there's 2 interesting changes here. One, you see that chest spawn was different. It actually spawns by dropping down instead of spawning in, which actually is the reason why in regular vanilla OOT that the chest is floating. Because I guess when they position the chest in regular OOT, they just didn't position it properly, so it floats. In this, because it falls down, it'll always hit the ground properly. Another change is that when you open a chest, bombs don't freeze in this version. Normally, when you open a chest and a bomb is active, the bomb will just freeze, or if the hitbox is active, the hitbox will also just freeze. That's not the case in this version. I actually just found this out while making this. What I wanted to do was pull out the bomb, open the chest, and then after the chest was opened, I would then get hit by the bomb. But the bomb fuse continues going while opening the chest, which means that the fastest way to die was actually to die the same frame as I open the chest. That way I'd die immediately after. Yeah, when it comes to leaderboards, only official releases are allowed on the leaderboards. This is not allowed anywhere near the main leaderboards. The leaderboard extensions, there could potentially be a leaderboard extensions category for this if there was interest. When this first came out, people were talking about maybe doing it, but discussion kind of died down. I'm hoping that this might inspire interest again, because I think this is actually a really cool run. This 0.9 version of GSR is really cool. I know some people were on the fence about it because of the spirit jump being required, because spirit jump is kind of a terrible trick. But there is an alternative route you could do, where you do get bomb shoes from Bomb the Well. You can actually get bomb shoes in Bomb the Well faster on this version. The same thing I did in Dodongo's Cavern to open the door, or blow up the first wall with quick put away. You can also do that for getting bomb shoes in Bomb the Well quickly. So this version still has like a very quick Bomb the Well bomb shoes method, so you could probably do that. Just do that and then skip spirit jump and just do spirit hover with the 10 bomb shoes you get there. But yeah, I'm hoping this inspires some more interest and people might try this again, and then we might have a leaderboard extensions category for this. How much of this run is cutscenes? I mean, less than regular GSR. It's pretty much just intro. Well, okay, intro, Master Sword cutscene, Shadow Medallion, Spirit Medallion, and Light Medallion, or Light Arrows. Which, I mean, I guess is kind of a lot. It's at least less than regular GSR because you skip Magic and Zelda's Lullaby. Because GSR is normally one of the most cutscene heavy categories percentage-wise. Like, even if it's only like an hour, 15-minute run, a lot of it is cutscenes, because you got intro, Master Sword, Zelda, Magic, Shadow Medallion, Spirit Medallion, and Light Arrows. Isn't Link saying blue in the original game? I never pay attention to Link's earrings in the original, and I never paid attention to them in this version. I don't know if they're different. I guess I can check later, but I don't know. If that's a difference, I don't think it's been documented. Link's object is unchanged. Okay, then it's probably not different then. Alright, now I have everything I need to beat Ganon. Except magic. I don't have magic. But again, I can buy green potion from Ganon's castle. And that will actually give me magic in this version to shoot light arrows with. Just gotta watch this cutscene. So I actually had an idea for skipping this cutscene. I was thinking of using quick put away, regular OOT quick put away with a Deku stick, and doing quick put away hovers to skip the bridge. But there's literally no place I could have picked up a Deku stick to do that, so I couldn't do it. It would have been like barely faster, like a few seconds. But I literally could not pick up a Deku stick anywhere. Although it's probably good, because that would have made it different between VC and N64. This way they're exactly the same. Alright, so here in Ganon's castle, there's a secret scrub room down here. One of them sells green potion. Super important, because, again, dying or saving and resetting would get rid of my magic, so I have to do it late in the run. So it's a good thing that I can get you can hear, you just heard the magic sound there. So now, for a different method of trial skip. So I mentioned I can't do the trial skip that just uses the hover against the wall, because the loading zone difference change. So these side hops are loading more and more light beams. The light beams get duped in Ganon's castle over and over each time you load the main room. So I'm trying to overload the game, having a bunch of different light beams. This eventually will despawn the barrier, and so I can Hess straight in. And also, you guys probably saw some lag there. That was not me dropping frames. That was the game actually lagging. And something really cool about that lag is that during that time where the screen is frozen, the game actually runs faster. And that caused my bomb to blow up quicker. So I could actually Hess off that bomb quicker. If you actually like go back and check how long that bomb took to blow up, it actually blew up faster because of that. And so something to mention about the trial skip method. So a lot of people probably know about the other trial skip method with the Armos in Spirit Trial, where you just push the Armos against the wall and clip through the wall with that. So I originally didn't want to time it because I kind of just wanted to do the method I did here, just because it was cooler. I did end up timing it, and it turns out it's basically dead even. Like, the Armos method and the method that I did were basically dead even. I think if you did it absolutely perfectly, the Armos method's probably, like, slightly faster. Like, by less than a second, maybe 1 second. But, I think this method was really cool. And then, yeah, all these fights are pretty normal. Just, well, fast versions of normal. And this version still has the thing where you can open doors slightly to the side of them. So like, if you look closely, I actually opened the door through the wall there. So here, I'll actually show the magic, just to show that I have magic. So if I look here, so the half magic meter is 3-0 in Hex. So 2E, that just shows that I used some of that magic for the quick spin charge. And then, so yeah, that's the half magic meter. That gives me enough for half magic bar. Do I consider GSR as an easy category? Yeah, for the most part, regular GSR is a pretty easy category. It's what most people start out with. GSR and Defeat Ganon, no SRM are like the typical beginner categories. I mean, you can make it harder. There are tricks and strats to make it more difficult, but like, for the most basic strats, it's pretty simple. Yeah, you can basically make GSR as easy or hard as you need it to be. If you want the OT practice ROM, you can find it on practicerom.com. So here, I finally equipped light arrows on my very barren item screen. There's very few things there. And then the bottle strat, because I have it equipped, why not? And then I shoot my light arrows without the magic bar, but with magic. And regular crouch stabs. And yeah, it's red blood. This is before 1.0, so it has, you know, regular 1.0 blood. Oh no, the poor children that'll see the 1.0 blood, or the red blood, the 0.9 blood. Okay, so for this next part coming up, normally you would do Void Warp, and I am going to do Void Warp, but But one thing that I almost panicked about while making this is right before I started doing the Void Warp, I realized, wait a second, this version's changed loading zone thing. That might make Void Warp impossible, because like, normally when you do Void Warp, you hit the loading zone a bit before you hit the ground. And I thought, oh no, Link is going to take longer to hit the loading zone, which might mean that Void Warp doesn't actually work. Luckily, it does still work. I think if the loading zone was lower, it would fail, but I think it's probably at just the right height that it still works. But you'll actually be able to notice that the camera is actually different. So the trick still works, but there's a noticeable difference in how the camera behaves during this trick, which I assume is likely related to the loading zone change. And then there's also a really interesting loading zone change here. So I actually get to use a different angle than regular OOT. I should turn on collision view. So I actually did an angle that goes right over a loading zone. In regular OOT, if I use that angle, I would hit that loading zone in midair, and then that would completely ruin the collapse skip. So luckily, because of that loading zone change, because you don't actually hit loading zones until you're like right above them, that means that I can just take a more direct route with that jump slash and land closer to the final loading zone at the end. So that particular room is slightly faster in this version. Yeah, there was a redead there. It might have just been harder to see because I left collision view on. But yeah, the redead was still there. Is an actual TAS or low TAD. It's kind of midway between them. I still mostly did human play for this, but there were a lot more instances in this that I did like actual TAS stuff. It's sort of like midway through. I just thought I'd call it a TAS because it's definitely more. There's definitely a lot more like non-human stuff in this. Okay, and I think that's all for the changes. I think there's no changes in the Ganon fight. Well, except for, like, I guess I can pull my sword out faster for crouch stab. Low TAS, sure. Low TAS, low TAD, whatever you want to call it. No, I can't submit it to TAS videos because they only accept, like, proper emulation input files, and this is, like, I don't think they would accept GZ. He's kind of a hacky TAS tool. Have this version do any category faster than normal? Well, this category in particular is much faster than regular OOT. I don't know of any other category off the top of my head that would be faster in this version. I think all dungeons no SRM is still fastest on 1.0, right? If all dungeons no SRM is fastest on 1.0, then that would probably make this also faster than that. Although I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. This is at least the category with the most significant difference. Sub-hour? Is it gonna be sub-hour? Pretty close. Better go fast. Is it? Alright. Sub-hour. The first sub-hour GSR. All you have to do is play on a pre-release version on VC and make it a TAS. And you can get sub 1 hour GSR totally. But yeah, I think this was pretty cool. I really like making this run, and it turned out more interesting than I expected. I was interested in making it regardless, but then I found a lot of smaller things while making this that I thought was really neat. And also learned a lot in making this. So this was actually probably one of my favorite LOTEDs I've done. This was very cool. Hope you guys liked it too. Also, before I go, I'm also going to show off a few other more interesting changes that I didn't get to show in the run. So, let me just show a few cool things that are different. Let me go here. Alright, so here in Jabu I want to show off two different things. Let me give myself the boomerang. Also, I don't want to die or the health sound being annoying. So first off, if you hear, right over here, there are two Skulltulas here. So the two Skulltulas that are in the bottom room, come on, stop. Stop it. I'm trying to get down to the bottom here. Really? Let me go down. Okay, here. So the Skulltulas that are usually in this room in vanilla, those two, are moved up to this room on these vines. So these are the only Skulltulas that are moved. So these were, I guess, the last Skulltulas moved in development, which is pretty interesting. The boomerang is also super weird. So Link's head and like the way the camera moves while aiming the boomerang is super weird. And also, like, I guess the way he throws it is like based on where his body's facing. So like I'm holding straight left here, and when I let go it like does it where I was facing like half a second ago. And also, if you target while using the boomerang, if you hold target and back, you end up back walking instead of aiming upwards. Like normally, if you do this and hold back, you aim upwards instead of back walking. Yeah, you can soft lock pretty easily on this version, especially because of the Skulltulas. Like, let's see. I bet this will soft lock. Did that soft lock? I have no idea. But yeah, because of the... Okay, probably didn't soft lock, but... Here, I'll quick text. But yeah, the cutscene, the gold Skulltulas causing cutscenes makes a lot of things easy to soft lock. Okay, I didn't soft lock there, but yeah, these cutscenes that are caused by the Skulltulas dying is a very easy thing to soft lock with, which is why, probably why they took it out, along with the fact that it's just kind of annoying. Another thing I want to show off. There's one really interesting thing. Which one is it? Oh, whoops. I need Skull Mask. Potion, bombs, and a shield. Yeah, I think this is it. Hopefully I remember how to do this right. This is a pretty interesting thing. Yeah. Okay, so normally after this starts happening, there's like a certain amount of time before the big scrub guy comes up and says, here's your reward. And so if there's actually not a timer check for this, So if I... You can actually drink potion and, you can drink potion and have him, like, talk to you while you're drinking potion, and then you can use a bomb to get out of it. So it causes this to happen, where these scrubs are now... this is actually a little bit different than normal, but they're, like, sliding in the ground. Look at these guys. Oh wait, you can hit them? That's different than normal, I think. But yeah, this is a funny glitch. And now they're all after me. But yeah, this is fixed in 1.0. I think that's all like the interesting changes. Like there's plenty more changes, but they're all like super minor stuff. Is there anything else interesting I should show off? Oh, I guess I'll show off late OI. So like what happens if you... Oh, yeah, I gotta fix this. So I'll just show off the easy bottle dupe. So they fixed OI right before 1.0 so that this didn't happen. Well, not that they specifically fixed OI, but... So normally if you do very late OI, it'll still act like Ocarina there, but if you do it like this, then you dupe your bottle, or turn your B button into a bottle. So this could have been the fastest bottle on B method, but we were robbed. Yeah, bottles are really broken in this. ESS OI is also broken, like I mentioned earlier. I just tried to do ESS OI there, and I just duped over my sword. Yeah, imagine bottles even more broken than in vanilla. That's this version. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this version. Lots of interesting changes, like interesting bug fixes. Pretty obvious why most of them are patched. Also, like, gives you a good sense of like how much work they did debugging this game. Because like, I know everyone loves to say, "Oh my God, did the QA testers even try with this game? There's so many glitches." Like, there's so many glitches in this game regularly, and so few of them affect casual gameplay. Like, a lot of these glitches in this version would likely affect casual gameplay. Like, a lot of these glitches are like actually could cause problems for casual players. In regular OOT, that's not the case. So few glitches would affect casual players in regular OOT. You really have to try to glitch. And so it is interesting to see, like, even very shortly before release, they had a version that had quite a few more glitches and patched out a lot of stuff right before release. Yeah, this was probably a version that a lot of testers got, and they got a lot of feedback and fixed some stuff. Let me see, is there anything else? I think that's pretty much all the interesting stuff.